Hi, welcome to TS Paranormal Productions. I'm here with Southern Ohio Paranormal Society. Justin, Cole, and Travis here. Right from the get-go, Southern Ohio. You guys spread out all over Southern Ohio or just one local area?
So for right now, we're kind of spread mainly in the very south part of Ohio. So we range anywhere from Cincinnati all the way down more towards like Brown County, Adams County style. So right up off the river style, we do all of that, and then we even are starting to we have some connections that's up north, like Middle Point School, stuff like that. So we've been starting to branch out there. So we're going to be heading up there and doing investigations and stuff as well. So
Okay, I mean, like group member wise, are you guys all in the same area then?
yeah, we're all in the same area. Yeah.
I have a feeling Cole's not going to talk much this time, so
We'll see. They're the two big dogs when it comes to us.
You're equal part on this, dude. We told you that before.
So, how many members do you guys have right now?
Currently, we're at 4. Shauna, our female member, she was not able to make it due to family obligations. But we're at 4. We got a couple that's in training and everything, that's testing it out and everything, deciding if this might kind of be for them and everything, kind of experience it. They're really hardcore skeptics, which, I mean, we truly love. I mean, that's what we want and everything, because since we joined this and everything, I mean, we grew up watching the TV shows throughout the years and everything, but I mean, this here, it's you got to keep that in you and everything, because you can't just automatically jump to everything that's automatically paranormal stuff. It's not all demons and everything. Something can be explained, and we're at the point where if we truly can't explain, even with a crazy reason, we're going to possibly chalk it up to paranormal.
All right. So you talk about so is that how you guys get new members? Like, is that kind of like a probation area or just like training?
Yeah, pretty much the way right now, there's a gentleman that that's been to a few hunts with us. His name's Daniel, and he's just newer to the whole side of the scene of it, and he's like, I want to join, but I'm not ready. So it's kind of like hey, you know what? A probationary period. Here you go. Get your own confidence build up, and then join when you're ready. Join when you feel like but hey, don't let that exclude you from joining us on hunts. Don't exclude that from joining us on, podcasts or on, even evaluation of our evidence and stuff like that. So that way, because it's all about learning, right? We're still learning. We're new into this. So, it's just more or less an area of being able to build up their own self-confidence in them.
So, we're gonna go. Cole, when did you join this group?
So to my knowledge, this group started up last fall, roughly with those two. I believe that timing is kind of around that ballpark. I got the opportunity to join probably about 3 months ago, I want to say, give or take, ballpark area. Travis and I work at the same firehouse, and I had not met Justin at the time. And he mentioned to me, hey, I'm going to go check out this building in a small town called Felicity out in Ohio. It's a haunted funeral home. I'm going to go do an investigation stuff, check some stuff out. And he told me a little bit about some stuff that he noticed when they went and got a tour there. He was there for a couple hours earlier. And I said, hey, I'd love to tag along and check it out. I grew up watching Ghost Adventures and stuff and always being interested and kind of fascinated, but never had a whole lot of experience myself, aside from a few sporadic moments growing up. So I got the opportunity to tag along and stuff. And after that, I was committed from day one of that to what else can I do? What can I do to help and be a part of this?
No, I mean, that's pretty cool because a lot of people, there's few reasons why people want to do this. They have experiences when they're young and just interested in it, or like go shows and just say, that'd be kind of cool to do. Let me try it out. I mean, obviously, did you have any experiences when you were younger?
not early childhood. I got into, must have been in high school. No, I would have been in middle school at the time. We had a kid that we used to babysit. He went on a vacation with his family. They were close friends of ours. And when they came back, he came back to our house. We started having some really weird stuff started happening. Like doors would close on their own, footsteps. It was a house built in '95. It was nowhere near remotely like the scary, creepy old house or something. But we started having some weird things happen between all my family members, and our dogs started acting up. And eventually we decided we're going to sit down and just call a family friend over and stuff who happened to be a psychic. And she said, "Hey, there's some spirits in your house now. They came and were attached to this kid, and now they're attached to you guys." At first, we didn't really believe it, but over the 6 months, things just kind of continued to develop. And I had some experiences myself growing up with that. And it kind of sparked some interest from there. We moved within a 2-year span after that all started.
So nothing after that, though. I was just pretty much attached to that house.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, nothing in the new house since we've moved here. So
That's good.
Yeah, bright side.
Yeah, it's a bright side there. How about you guys? I mean, what piqued your interest in the paranormal?
Justin, you want to go first?
Yeah. So, so I always grew up religious, right? I grew up in a very religious family, and I was always told about things of the paranormal side. And then I started experiencing different things at one of my old houses that we lived in growing up. We used to have an old analog TV, right? One of the little square ones. And it used to creep me out because, me and my sister were supposed to be sharing a room, but she always slept in the couch because she was scared of the room that we were staying in. So it left me in there. I didn't know where to sleep. But that TV would be unplugged and it would just pop up static. And I mean, granted, okay, them TVs were old. They may have had some electricity left in them because of that technology back then. But it definitely would put me on edge. But I really started to experience, negative feelings, a lot of paranormal side when there's a park in a town that I grew up called Bethel, Ohio, and it was called Burke Park. And inside the Burke Park, there was this massive shelter house. And inside that shelter house, they would do, there were Satanists that were doing, rituals inside there. And there was always pentagrams and stuff. And one day, me and my uncle witnessed them sacrificing something in that shelter. I don't know what it was, but you heard the screams, you heard everything. Me and my uncle, we beat bopped out of there. And ever since, that night, I would start having night terrors that there was this, demonic entity that was, following me. I felt like that's when I started to get that feeling of, discernment almost. Like I could feel when things are not right, the energy shifting in the place. And then what really set the paranormal side and got me super interested in it is there's a Grant Memorial Building in Bethel, and it used to be able to rent out the top for parties. And the bottom was a museum, and the building is extremely old. And my sister's 16th birthday party was there. And one of the girls ran up and said, hey, some of the doors are shaking down there. So they were scared to go down there. So me and my uncle would walk down, and we would walk them down there to be gentlemen, make sure that they were not scared. If there was somebody who was breaking in, we could handle it. So we were sitting there, and there was this girl I liked, so I was beating myself up because I didn't ask her to dance or anything, 14-year-old, shoot, But so I was asking my uncle for advice because he was my hero. He was everything. And all of a sudden, the energy shifted in that entire museum part. What it was the doors were locked and shut, and they had blinds down, and there was this bright light ball that just bright light that just turned on inside the museum, and you just seen, I don't know, probably about 20 just black figures on the other side of the door, and the door started shaking ferociously. And my uncle, which was never scared of anything because he accidentally dated he was dating a witch once, and and seen some of the stuff she did, so he was never scared of anything. He went and put his hands on the door, and as he's putting his hands on the door, it was throwing his hands off because it was shaking so hard. Scared me half to death. And but it put a enough ball inside me, enough interest inside me that I've always wanted to go into the paranormal. I just never had any growing up in a religious family. And even now I'm still religious. But it was always looked at negatively, going and doing paranormal research. And which we'll touch on that base a little bit later, because I think it's a good thing to discuss, being a paranormal research and a religious person. I think it's a good thing to talk, but that's what's got me interested in it. Now I'll bump it up to Travis.
I don't know. During that whole entire time, I think my internet's having problems. I keep blacking out on my screen. I don't know if it's showing, but mine. It started back when I was. Last time I mentioned it was, or the last podcast.
All right, he's breaking up there.
Yeah, we live like right down the road from each other, and every time I'm surprised my spectrum's not messing up.
Oh, there he's back now.
There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Taking into that. Mine started when I was like 9 or 10. My brother passed away due to he committed suicide. Come to find out later on in life. But at that time, I was like 9 or 10. He passed away, and it was the day that we buried.
Froze again.
And
but we're back.
It's kind of trying to patch him in, but it's not.
It's not working.
Yeah, something's up with his connection there.
So there's a few people on here. If you guys have any questions for, you guys call SOPs, Southern Ohio Paranormal Society, go ahead and ask them. And he just gave a private chat here.
yeah.
So,
let me see if I can reset some stuff.
okay.
You guys continue. I'll see if I can join back in. I'll reset my internet, see if that helps.
All right. No problem, man.
Okay.
See you in a few.
So you touched one thing like about religion, because that is always a big topic, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I'm religious too, so, but being in a real religion, like strong family, they know about the paranormal. They just don't want to talk about it, or you don't talk about it. You don't mess with it. I mean,
I grew up in a Pentecostal family, so it was strictly like, hey, you don't even like address if you think there's a paranormal activity going on. But also there was a lot of things about Pentecostal religion that was not right. You know what I mean? Like, it was, like women having to always wear dresses, and it's like, come on, man, But so I'm actually a student minister director. So I manage all the youth at one of my local churches here. I love doing what I do. But when I have a lot of friends that are atheists, and they even come to me like, why are you doing paranormal research, but doing investigations when that technically should go against what your beliefs are? And I'm like, well, no, because I'm a big believer in, listen, if we're praying to a God, if we're praying to God, that is something that is not of this world. So therefore it is a paranormal. It's not normal. It's not of what society would say that's a normal thing. So that is still partaking in the paranormal. You know what I mean? Yes, there are boundaries, but if you want to go as far back as any part of the religion of even back in the, 16th century and stuff like that, where, Catholic religion was prominent everywhere, and, they would perform paranormal investigations to determine if there was needing an exorcism, and there's still even some that follow that standard. And that's what I put as my standard is like, listen, religion and paranormal, it can go hand in hand. Why can't it? I don't understand, why it's so frowned upon in certain societies. And I think that it's a good thing to be able to talk. Like, listen, I'm a big believer. I don't push my religion on anybody because that's not what the God that I would serve would want me to do, right? But also, I'm going to respect anybody else's thoughts and what their religion is. So if you do paranormal, it can go hand in hand. And I feel like, you know, having that standard broken is going to be a good thing, I feel, in this field. And you've been doing this for, you know, quite a while now. You're one of the, you know, front runners of, hey, listen, I'm religious too, to where you've already started to break that, you know, that society of, you know, well, you know, being religious, you can't do this, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes either way. Like you talked about what happened with you with the door shaking and stuff, because that happened to my wife. Not that she doesn't do any of this. Trust me. She hates me doing this. But, you know, I guess she lets me do this, but whatever. But, you know, she had experience when she was younger with a Ouija board. It was her and her friend, and they're best friends to this day. I did not know this till I had her best friend on the show saying that they were doing a Ouija board and stuff happened. Now my wife is like, yeah, I don't want to deal with any of this. And then her friend was like, I want to find out more.
Yeah.
So it can go either way. Like that door shaking,
absolutely. Yeah.
You could have been like, yeah, that's a whole out of my, that's way out of my ball game here. Like, I'm just gonna go back and ask this girl to dance.
I never asked her to dance, man. I dropped the ball.
You want paranormal instead?
I would 100%, man. You know, not only did I get the poop scared out of me that night, I still didn't get my dance.
I mean, you had the courage to talk to spirits, but not to a 14-year-old girl. I mean,
no, man. You know, it scared me. You know, both sides, dude.
Listen, I don't know about you, but girls are terrifying. Okay.
Oh yeah, no. My wife is absolutely. We just had our baby on the 11th, and you know, she don't partake in any of this. She's supportive. You know, she'll support it, but she's one that I don't really want to hear about it. Don't really come and be like, oh, look at this evidence, because she's like, this scares me. I don't want to have nightmares. And whereas my mom, she raised us in the religious, you know, she's a very religious woman, phenomenal woman at that. But you know, she was born on Halloween, so she always got made fun of for that. But she is big in the paranormal side. She's the one that, you know, she also I feel like kind of forerunner that for me, because she would be like, oh, check this paranormal show out, you know, like, you know, watch this. There's still some things I don't watch because, you know, I don't do scary movies well. Okay, I just don't. But you know, she you know, we had an investigation the other night at the Broadwell home, and we did a 7-hour investigation, and she was on our live for like the whole 7 hours. So she's super supportive of it. My wife is, but distance, like your wife, like
Yeah, my wife's a little weird though, because she'll be like, I want nothing to do with it. Then I'll go do an investigation. And she'll be like, why did you ask that question? I'm like, wait, you're watching me live? She's like, no. My daughter will go with me sometimes. She likes doing this.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and that's always a big topic too. We'll get in that a little bit about younger people getting into this. And, you know, my daughter, which I think is mature enough to do it. And again, I won't put her in any situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll get with the kid stuff, because a lot of kid stuff coming up now with paranormal. And I think it's neat, but I think people have to be careful too. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, Travis, how's your internet going, bud? Your mic's muted, by the way.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, I forgot I had myself muted after you know some. I'm connected on my mobile hotspot, so hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah, I don't understand why my home internet's going giving fits. Spectrum told me I have 1 gig of internet service, and apparently 1 gig's not working.
Not good enough. So yeah, Tennessee Shadow Chasers. They have a lot of different religions on their team, which I think is a cool thing.
Oh yeah.
I think you have to have that difference. We have, me who believes my religion, but we also have, the witchy type that does sage and crystals, and the skeptics, obviously. So, I mean, I think it's good to have all that mixed up
Oh yeah.
in your group. So,
Yeah.
Travis, where do you lie in all this?
So I mean, I was born and raised as a Christian and everything. I mean, I believe in that. But I mean, I here lately and everything after what I experienced younger, which I didn't get a chance to say and everything because how my internet was. But even doing this, starting the team and everything, and seeing what we are, and then just looking more into the Bible itself and everything. I mean, the Bible itself mentions the spirits and everything. Um, I'm open to any belief. I'm not going to judge anyone on how they believe and everything. I'm not going to force my religion on someone and stuff. You do you. I respect it. You respect me and what I do and everything. And we'll get along and all that. Northern Utah Paranormal. They just sent us some great cleansing kits and protection and stuff and everything on how to go about that. And we're going to put that into practice and everything because the one place that we've been going to the most, Broadway Funeral Home, I mean, just starting out for us alone and everything, that place is hiding something dark, and our past two live streams, I mean, you can see each one of us has been affected one way or another during the investigation and stuff. And I mean, we always sit there and try to do a prayer protection. Justin sit there and does that for us before we go in and start an investigation, and especially after sitting there, prayer protection, telling the spirits you can't follow us at home and everything. But it seems like they're really pushing that boundary, and we're open up to try to add anything extra to our arsenal and everything for this. Because I mean, it's definitely it was a rude awakening for some of us. I mean, Cole can kind of tell you about it a little bit about it because he kind of got a little pushy on one, and well, he calls himself the one. He got a little pushy with it, and he kind of got to meet him a little bit.
Which time are we talking about here?
The time you actually got grabbed in the coal room. And
Oh
everything.
yeah, that time. There's an entity that dwells within this property of Broadwell Funeral Home, and it is referred to as the one or one by a lot of the different EVPs and spirits that you can get. And one of the weird things that you will get with it is one, it tends to dwell in the basement in a specific room that we have referred to as the coal room of this funeral home. And a lot of the spirits, when you get communications with this entity, will stop communicating with you altogether. And me being the dumb guy that I am, when I joined the team, I said, hey, I'll go do all the stupid crap that nobody wants to do. I'll go sit alone in the dark hole and do the stuff and say things that nobody else wants to say. I'll go do that. So I pushed my luck one night. I believe earlier in that night, or the previous investigation, it was either previous or earlier in the night, our female member, Shauna, my girlfriend at current time, she had a moment where she was in this coal room by herself, and we were getting some really good evidence between a spirit box and her sitting in this room while we were asking questions, and a third person was getting responses on a spirit box. And she ended up coming out of the room, going upstairs, and she had these scratch marks across her throat where she felt like something had actually grabbed her throat. And we have pictures of this. Following that, I went in and kind of called this entity a coward multiple times and enticed it a little bit with some certain agitations. And while I was in the coal room and stuff, saying some of these things amongst myself, I felt something physically grab me and shove me from behind in the chair. And it scared the crap out of me. I came running out of the room pretty quick. But it definitely is something that has opened up my eyes a few times, being in that house with some of the experiences I've had since joining the team in that house.
Oh yeah, because like when we first brought on Cole, he came to the house with us, and I mean, he there was no activity. It was like the place was silent, and we're like, what in the world? And we started doing, the Estes method, and we kept getting responses that it was like observing, and it was just distance observing. And I'm like, oh, okay, you don't want to come prime time. You just want to get to know us, and then. And it's gotten to the point that now, Cole now knows the danger of this, because when we went back to that location after this, that happened to Cole, we were doing the Estes method, and it literally will call Cole out by name. It even will start taunting Cole through that method, and through just different spirit box sessions or even EVPs. It literally starts focusing on him, and I'm like, man, we now why it's like, let's not push the envelope too far. You definitely pushed this thing a little too far, and it's so now it's kind of called him out, and it's, but we definitely have gotten some good evidence from that, and we're trying to let the spirits know, they're like, hey, listen, we're all new at this, we're learning, bear with us, we want to respect you,
Yeah.
and that's what we're intending for. So
Cole, would you go back in there again by yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's only one room in that house I really strongly dislike being in by myself. And even then I have to have somebody in the room looking at me while I'm in there for me to be comfortable. And that whole floor, the whole upstairs, I really don't like going in the upstairs of that building.
Yeah. The closet he's talking about, from other investigators, Jennifer's paranormal investigations. She's been there numerous times, from the sessions that she's done and everything, and she's a psychic medium. The communication she got was from a spirit that calls herself Lisa. Apparently, she's 17 years old. She dwells in this one closet. She's not too trustworthy on it because she kind of feels something else hiding behind it. Um, the, what Cole feels, he feels a lot of sorrow and everything, and we believe that's more from the actual spirit of Rosalie, a child that used to live there with the Broadwells and everything when the Broadwells own it, when they operate as a funeral home. And don't know where Lisa's coming from and everything, but he feels that sadness and everything. But like when I go in there and stuff, before we got the ceiling sealed off and everything from the attic and everything, because we've been helping the owner try and get the place actually how he wants it and stuff. I just felt like something's watching me from the attic with more of a malevolent type spirit and everything. It's just something like, you're not welcome here. I don't like you. I'm going to harm you and stuff. But like me and him, when we're in there, like we really got to be watched when we go into the closets. Something about them closets on that second floor really kind of opens a lot. The last investigation on our live stream, Leo, uh, he joined in and everything. He really helped, which we're hopefully here soon, later this week or so. We're going to release some good evidence of possible orbs that we caught and everything, especially during the time when I was there with the live stream. He sensed and was able to see Rosalie appear, and he was able to communicate. And during that like 2 to 3 minute span, I mean, there was a lot of what we're believing orbs just going haywire in this closet and stuff. But I mean, there, like, a lot of emotions came over me. I felt the sadness and everything from just the backstory that we're getting from the history that Austin Manor and everything from the Underground Paranormal Network, and Mike Brill, that the owner of the Barbara Funeral Home now, been able to find out is Rosalie was possibly mentally handicapped, physically impaired, or something. And during that time of 1910 to like 1942, during that time, that type of situation the public didn't like and everything, so they kept that person hidden and whatnot.
Yeah.
and there's been quite a bit of records showing most likely that's what happened with her and everything. She was either hidden on the second floor or in the attic and everything. In the attic and everything, you can kind of see there was somewhat of a decent living space and everything. And they've been able to find all the birth certificates and death certificates for all the Broadwell family besides Rosalie. The only one that's missing is Rosalie's death certificate. And the last investigation, it got pretty serious on. There was numerous sessions that was doing even on EVPs and everything. Kept hearing something about secrets, can't say and whatnot. Rosalie's sitting there, was communicating with Leo and everything, sitting there saying, "I'm upset. I can't really talk and everything." And the next note, we feel the energy shift, and that's when like Christopher, the father, would start showing up and communicating, sitting there saying he was getting angry, can't let the secret get out and stuff. And we're just, it's all speculation and everything. We don't know if, since he was a mortician and everything, if possible with what was going on, if he might have been able to kind of just get rid of her and stuff. But them closets are really holding something, and it really affected me and Cole the most when we go in there. They're both live streams that we actually, the 3 live streams, 2 of ours and 1 from Jennifer's. You can see certain times throughout where either myself or Cole's being affected when we go in there.
Like they're completely like zoning out. They're spaced out. They lose all track of time. Like it's odd. Like the one time it happened to Travis, it scared me so bad that I jumped up. My phone fell out of my pocket, broke my phone case and everything because he was just slumped in the doorway. And I'm like I thought he was actually having a medical emergency. And he just looks up at us and he's like, "What is happening? What are you guys doing?" And it's like, and then he looks at Jennifer like, "Where? I thought we were doing the EVP session while you were in that bathroom." She goes, "Bud, we've been done with that for like 25 minutes." And he goes, "What?" It was odd. The place definitely has a sense of malevolent and trickery to it, I feel. But it's definitely been a good standing for us to learn and to grow at this place. But we're excited because coming up in later on August, we're going down to Jonesville. Jonesville's rest home. And then in September, we're going up to Middle Point School. So we're excited. Those are going to be our first locations outside of Broadwell. So we're pretty pumped up about that.
Talking about, I mean, it's always a topic too, calling spirits out. You know, everybody says you can't call spirits out. You can't get angry with them. I mean, we're all pretty big dudes here. So like in Cole's instance, you know, girl got scratched. Dude, as a man, you're going to go in there and call someone out.
Especially when it's his girl. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely got that personal side to it.
My daughter's been scratched a couple times, and my daughter's like, "Hey, I got scratched." Like, that's just the way she is. She has my demeanor. She's like, "Oh, yeah." And it's literally 3 scratches down her back. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to call it out. Yeah. Do you guys have a problem with that? Or is it just like,
no, man, it's just, I'm kind of with you in the standard of it's fine to call it out, but definitely know what the possible consequences are. You know, I would never want someone to come into the investigation with us that's never really done it, and they're immediately just calling it out names and just being just agitation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just when it's not done anything and you're just agitating it, it's like, okay, come on. Like we gotta try to communicate. We got to try to do something. That's when I have an issue to a point, right? Like, it's okay if you go down and you're like, all right, you guys are just being cowards. You're not saying nothing. You're not doing nothing. That's different. But when you're sitting there just agitating it for no reason, that's when I have an issue. But other than that, call it out. You know, hey, listen, you want to be a big guy. You want to be the big scary spirit that wants to scratch a girl, but you don't want to scratch me. Come on, like, what's up with that? You know, like, we don't have an issue with any of that. I think that it's good to kind of get that back and forth almost, you know.
Yeah. Cole's smiling over there. He's like, I ain't calling anything out.
That's to a T almost exactly what I've done numerous times. I'll go down and say, hey, you're pretty big coward down here. You love to get really active when it's some girl by herself or something like that. Something that's not willing to fight back or not willing to stand up to you. Why aren't you going to do something to me? You got all us here. You ain't going to do nothing to me, nothing to any of us. I don't think you're going to do anything. It's tones and moments like that that I generally do when I do go down there and call it out more often than not. But I, like Justin said, there is a fine line with it. And we try very much not to cross that line.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing you do in real life, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
the same
You don't wanna
concept.
you don't want to pull a knife on someone that's got a gun pointed at you. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen, right? Like,
I mean, plus you guys done this, it sounds like multiple times, this place multiple times. So you know what's kind of there. You're just trying to get more answers to it.
yeah.
We have that up here at Madison Seminary. You know, addict doctor did a lot of bad things to girls back in the day. That's the stories. Then when females go up there, you know, they get feelings, they get scratched, they get hair pulled. And that's when I go up there and be like, listen, dude, like, let's go, let's rock. You know, what do you got? And nothing. I mean, obviously, but
that's a story that we get most of the time about the one, or he calls himself the one, the evil one. And I mean, there's numerous stories where he doesn't like the females when they come into the basement and stuff. So we're possibly thinking he might be tied in with Christopher with some of the stuff that we're kind of getting on the last couple investigations we've done on the evidence that we're possibly getting on the answers and stuff. Like he might be tied into being a creation from Christopher and everything on how he just possibly abused his daughter and stuff. But it's like females there doesn't like, but when there's more of a male presence or and everything, especially a male hanging around the female, nothing's kind of really going on. But once he kind of starts separating everyone, that's when he starts kind of really making himself known. Like there's one session that I was in the estates method and just watching back on the from the live stream and everything. He was insufferable during that time when we was communicating with him, because I was in his special place and everything, and he kept saying like the room, and they would ask like what room, and he would constantly like, you know, and stuff. It's just like, okay, give us the answer. He's like, no, you know. I don't know how many times in like a good 10-minute span, I was just blurting out saying, you know, on the questions that they was asking and stuff. It's just like,
well, and that was like
he likes to try and antagonize and everything when he's communicating to the males. But like if he's when here and there we're allowing Shauna, because I mean, especially after the incidents where she got the scratch marks around her neck and everything, he's like, oh crap, really going kind of watch it and everything, because she's more of the hardcore skeptic for us, and she's on the fence of this, and like she didn't announce when it happened and everything in the live stream. She was walking upstairs. I followed behind her because I had to go get a drink upstairs, and when I got upstairs, I noticed her crying and everything. I'm like, what's wrong? And she lifted her neck up, and I mean, I seen the scratch marks around her neck. I'm like, what the hell? She's like, it happened when I was in that room, had the headphones on with the spirit box, and she's like, all of a sudden, it's like, heard like a deep growl. The EMF meter spiked up to a 5, and all of a sudden, I felt something around my neck, and she's like, I got out of there. And during the time, one of the guys that was kind of just hanging out with us, he's another true hardcore skeptic that kind of wants to just be an honorary member and everything, kind of join us on some of the hunts. He was doing another estates methods with one of our spirit boxes. He had the headphones on. And when she walked past saying, I'm going upstairs, and I followed behind, and we're just both walking up the steps out of the basement, he looked at Justin and like just all bright eyed, and Justin's like, what? He's like, dude, he's like, a good 15-second like evil dark laugh came through.
Yeah. And
shortly after that, it was like, where's the girl going?
Yeah, it was like, where's the girl? Why is she going? Why
Yeah.
cry? And I'm like, he's just sitting there like looking at me, and he's like, what? He was more like, because he absolutely does not really believe in most, like he believes in the paranormal, but it's like listen, man, like orbs, come on, that can be explained as dust or something, So we bring him in on a lot of our evidence, and we're like, hey, what do you think? Because if it can stump you, then we may have something here,
Yeah.
so on certain things. But that was his first time of ever doing anything, and he's like, that scared me. He's like, nothing really gets to me. He's like, but that was weird. I didn't like that at all. It was just straight, just evil laughing. He's like, and it was like, he's like, I don't know, it's sent a chill down my spine. I'm like, yeah, that's, yeah.
Well, I mean, ultimately, our goal when we're doing this is just we go in, announce who we are, what our goal is on. Like, look, we just want to learn your history and everything, what happened and everything, and we'll match our energy and everything. They being respectful for us, we're gonna match it and everything. The one when he starts kind of showing up and starts constantly giving us, we're just gonna match his energy and everything, because that's ultimately what he wants. He wants someone to kind of go at him and everything. I think that's what he feeds off. And like Leo, definitely, he was a big help on our last live stream on sitting there saying like look, he seems like similar type of stuff I dealt with at these other locations. Really got to be watchful of it and everything, because they just really want to lure her in. So he was a big help on that. But it's like, we're just going to match your energy. Our ultimate goal is to go in, try to sit there and find out what's going on and everything, if it's truly haunted, especially if it's none of the locations that everyone else been into. Try and get our own personal experience to match it and everything, to help build more credit, and just be respectful to give out the history of themselves or the history of the location.
I mean, I'm glad you said that, because that's one thing that always bothers me about a lot of paranormal investigators. I don't know if it bothers me, but as I said, we do Medicine Seminary up here. It's getting pretty famous place now. A lot of groups have done it. It's been on some TV shows. I've been doing it for I think 18 years ago is when I first went there. And I've done it 14 times now, 12 or 14 times. But the stories have changed. Like, I did it twice, then I took like a 5-year break from there, then went back, and all the stories changed. So when we go into investigation, I tell them, like, hey, I just want to know your story. Like, let's get your story straight. Because before in the attic, it was just a big dude stabbing you with a needle. Now there's a doctor, and so tell me your story. That's what I want. So you guys are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's important, first off, just being history people, right? Like, we love the history of places, and it's an old place. But also, I'm big, one of my goals in life was to eventually become an anthropologist, because the study of the bone. But my main goal was to give someone a name, because there's so many people that are found, like forensic anthropology, that eventually finds out that person or gives that person a name. And that's we bring that aspect to this for us as well. Let us tell your name. Let us tell what happened. Let's open this up so you can get your story out, because it's important.
Let's go there, because I mean, I've been talking to another group from Ohio. I'm not going to mention their names or anything. We talked about that. Like, there's a lot of mediums out there. There's a lot of sensitives, psychics. I mean, there's probably 5 million more than there was 10 years ago. So, and we can't tell if they're saying the truth or not. But when they go in these places and say names without anything backing them up, now that story has changed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's and I'm with you on that, right? The thing that like, I don't want to ever discredit anybody unless there's no facts. But before we start calling the names out, let's back it up. Because even the skeptics that are going to be like, okay, well, we don't believe in this, but you may have us intrigued with the way the story might be or what it is, then let's tell it right first off, to respect the person or the spirit that is there, to the place that's there, but also for respect of ourselves and our integrity, right?
I think that's one of the biggest thing that people are missing right now. I'm not saying everybody, there's a few out there, respect to the spirits. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's in a
I
way
mean,
because they're trying to get the followers, they're trying to get the views on TikTok, and they're trying to, you're missing
yeah,
the
like
point of what we do.
the constant when you see them type of people where it's constant. Oh, we met a demon at this place and stuff.
No, you didn't.
We've seen couple other teams and everything that has been to this location and everything that they're labeling it the one or the evil one a demon and stuff. And I mean, we're fairly new and everything, but I mean, I'm currently taking a demonologist course and stuff, and I mean, what I'm seeing there is it's not truly matching demon. I mean, if it was, I mean, as soon as you would get in there, I mean, I would expect everything that'll be off the charts and everything, constant activity, more powerful than what it is and everything. I mean, the scratches and everything. I mean, if that's all you're going to do and everything, you must be a low level demon
No, I mean,
then.
everybody thinks like a bad entity is a demon. Like,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
it's not. I mean, it can be a disgruntled spirit and everything. I mean,
yeah,
we don't know what they went through and stuff, and especially like this location here, the Broadwell Funeral Home. We're really having a hard time and everything because when I mean, so it was from 1910 to 1942. It was owned by the Broadwells, and then from 1942 to 1972 or early 70s, it was owned by another guy. I can't remember. I just lost his name. But two different owners and everything, and of course during that time, internet wasn't around and everything. It was the second funeral home for Felicity, a 1 square mile village, the last longest standing funeral home. They have the plot records of who was buried from that place, but like none of the obituaries and everything. So like we're trying to find newspapers during that time, which is very hard and everything
yeah,
because not a lot of people kept that. But trying to sit there and go through and trying to find out when we get certain names to try to sit there and see if it holds some power and everything, some meaning and everything. It's been very hard, but I mean we're grinding through it and everything. I give props to like Austin and Mike Burrow on finding the death certificates and birth certificates for most of the Broadwells, besides Rosa Lee. Hopefully we can find it and everything. Like our the theory we're having. Hopefully that's not correct at all. Um, but I mean, as of right now, there's no record of her death certificate and stuff. Um, but we just want to go in there trying to find out. And I mean, that's any location and stuff is like, hey, this is your chance to give us your story. Um, we're just here to learn and everything. Your time to speak. What you got to say, let it off and everything. And like, especially this to hear and everything. Like when me and Justin just first started out, because kind of like what got us started was uh, I always been interested. He's been interested, and then like here and there we was talking about it, and then he's like, "Man, I would love to do what like Taps and Ghost Adventures does," and I'm like, "I got a location." Guy I work with, he's a volunteer for my full time department. He owns the old Broadwell Funeral Home, and it's supposed to haunted. I done a couple tours during the day and everything. He showed me around. I got like a little feeling and stuff, but like nothing during that time kind of jumped out and everything. He's like, dude, hit him up, see what we can do. So it's like, all right. He gives us access uninterrupted by ourselves and everything. We're just there with our cell phones for EVP recording sessions because that's all we had. And he had another app that he bought on from the Google Play Store and stuff that kind of helped and everything. And before that, he was messing with it around his home and his firehouse, never getting anything supposed to like be like this ovilus type deal, never getting any responses month prior. He's running it there for a good 30 minutes and everything. And he goes in one room and all of a sudden he gets like observing and stuff. And it's like them spirits, like when they meet someone new, they want to know your intentions. Like, okay, or especially this place is starting to become more popular and everything. It's like, okay, what's your true intentions? Are you here to make fun of us, interrupt us, and everything? And it's been a good learning location for us to start out.
So you're talking like you guys start off EVPs and stuff like that. So we'll go right into it. What's your go-to equipment right now?
So honestly, right now our go-to is the SB7 and the Estes method, man. Because listen, I know for some of the viewers that when they're watching a video, okay, yeah, you might be able to fake that. Like I get that because we had I'm not going to name the name, but we had posted a clip of our Estes method, and this person went on the paranormal community and was like, "Oh, you're just fudging your evidence," and it kind of hurt us, But he was doing it to everybody else, and it was like, we're not here to do that, but that's our go-to just for us as well as personally, because we're not out here to fudge things, right? We're not out here. We're out here to give a name. And honestly, when we were hesitant on it, Travis was the first one that said, man, I think he started researching it, was watching other paranormal groups do it. And he's like, dude, I think we should try it. So we went and got SB7 box and we did it. And the results it was astonishing. And we're like, okay, so that is our go-to right now. Obviously we still run, we still do our EVPs. We do,
my favorite is the EVPs. I mean, the couple, I think it was like sometime last week, we dropped a mini, almost a 2-minute long EVP session. It was actually with Cole. We sat there, it was during our last investigation there at the Broadway Funeral Home. Sit there, Justin's like, hey, look, let's give the basement a break and everything. It's giving us a lot of stuff, but he's like, I'm not liking how this might play and everything. I give props to Justin. He's the one that kind of really watches out for me and Cole, because especially me, when I'm starting to getting good evidence and everything, I don't care what path it's taking me. I want to go. Justin's like, dude, it's kind of getting a little. He's like, we might need to take a break. So we took a break, went upstairs. He's like, look, I want to start out. Let's do like a 2 to 5 minute EVP session. No talking. We'll just start it and give the opportunity for anything that wants to speak to us or say anything to talk. So we're there for like 2 minutes silence and everything. And it was Cole's recorder in his favorite closet, Lisa's closet and stuff. We caught 3 distinct pig grunts. I mean, like when we went and replayed it back, he was listening to it and everything. And we was there. Me and him was at work. Justin came up to hang out and everything. And he's like, dude, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. And I was busy with something else. Justin listened to it. He's like, dude, Travis, you got to come here and listen. And I'm like, that's a pig grunt. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, get on Google, type in a pig grunt and everything for audio. And I bet you the first sound you're going to play, it's going to sound like that. And sure enough, he hit play. I'm like, there it is.
We were literally, we had the earphone up, and we would press play, and then we would pause it, and then we would play the EVP, and it was like, that is weird.
And sorry, Travis.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
The oddest part about it was I caught the first one. I had Justin come over and I was like, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm listening to here. This is weird. This don't sit right. And he listened to it. And we figured out it was pig grunt. I was like, okay, well, let's see what else I caught, right? It's like a 3-minute long EVP, and I kept going, and I heard it again. I called Justin back over. And I was like, hey, I got another one. And we heard the same thing. We kept going again. About a minute later, I'd stop and be like, hey, I got another one on the same EVP, like 10 seconds later.
And I
it was
mean,
back to
for
back
that
to back.
location, it's not our first time catching it. Well, like when me and Justin done our little private tour and everything on our cell phones, I caught two. We know a lot of religions and stuff want to kind of chalk that up to demon and stuff, but I mean, also a lot of beliefs is poltergeist. That can be the sound for a poltergeist and everything. There has been, I mean, Jennifer is one where she sensed a poltergeist activity, especially on the second floor. A couple other teams kind of sit there and announce that and everything and kind of collaborate with her or speculation and stuff. So it's like, I don't think it's demon. I just think it's possibly poltergeist or something, mimicking just to scare people. And it could be, I mean, especially with the times that we've been there with how the one wants to act and everything on, I mean, the our first live stream and everything where we're there for a good solid 30 minutes of hearing, it could
Yeah.
be the one just mimicking and everything, trying to just scare people.
Yeah, it could be. Just doesn't want you in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we have a lot of equipment now. I mean, we keep buying all the expensive crap, and still, my recorder is my favorite thing. I mean, I carry that thing everywhere. Actually, I just did 30 hours plus of review last week, and I maybe have 2.5 minutes of EVPs out of 30 plus hours, and I'll do it all over again. There's nothing like
Oh,
getting
yeah.
an EVP. I mean,
Because I mean, that there is like, how can you truly explain what could cause that?
yeah,
I mean, that there's the most scientific way, like you want to get that way and everything on. Like, how can you truly sit there and explain what can cause that and everything?
yeah,
You hear a true voice that doesn't match anyone else, like the one from our cell phones. We heard a loud sound, and when we was me and Justin was in the basement, we was later able to debunk the sound. But I mean, like first starting out, it was like, oh my god, like oh we caught something. So we went to where we thought the area was. I refired up the EVP, started a new session and everything. And I'm sitting there, it's like, hey, if that was you making the sound, can you do it again? Make yourself known. You hear someone else in the background that was with us, my sister's fiance, at the bottom of the stairs, yelling upstairs to my mother and my sister and my daughter that was upstairs because they didn't want to come downstairs after I said that. Told them like, look, the one or the evil one doesn't like females down there, and they're like, well, we're out.
yeah.
So they're like, no, that wasn't us. You can hear the response, and then you can hear Justin with his little like country style twang and stuff sit there and say something, and then all of a sudden, completely different tone, sitting there just saying, I'm right here, like just right next to my cell phone. That doesn't match none of our sounds and everything. It's like,
No, it was like speaking over me, and it was like
yeah,
there's only two people that was down here talking, and I was asking Travis something, and you hear it just. I think we were like, where was that? And it was like right after
I'm
it was
right
like,
here.
I'm right here, and it was like, whoa.
I mean, on a cell phone,
right? Like, every time we listen, we caught something that's it's really unexplainable on some of our DVR cameras at the Broadwell, and it was like, we don't know what it was, but we got excited when we seen that. But man, we got more excited when we are reviewing our EVP and we catch something, because it's exciting because there's something it is going out of its way to use its energy to say something or do something. That's a noise related thing, and it's exciting. I love it.
I always say it's like gold fever. I mean, those old timers got that one piece of flake gold and they're stuck. I mean,
yep.
And I'm the same way with EVPs. Once you hear that first class A EVP, you're like, that's it. That's
Yep.
all I'm doing now. And I'm terrible with like Facebook Live. I always tell everybody, because I work with over 100 people, they're like, you going live? I'm like, yeah. Like 2 minutes into it, I totally forget about it. I'm just walking around with my recorder, just asking questions. I'm a solo guy. I mean, I have a team, but I love doing solos. If you find a dark basement, I'm going in there. That's just the way I am. I love the fear. You guys,
we would definitely love to try and get you down here to our location for the Broadway Funeral Home.
I was going to mention something about that. I didn't want to jump in here. I'm like,
no, I mean, we're always up to it and everything.
100%, man.
I'm like, I'm in Ohio. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You have to come down. Literally, man. There's, I think since you love EVPs, man, this home loves EVPs. I feel like too, because there'll be sometimes like we get no evidence for like the first, for like 2 hours straight, and it's like, all right, man, like come on, like it's 1 a.m. You were talking great, now you're not doing nothing. But then we go back and we start doing EVPs and we listen, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, this is what you want to communicate with right now. Okay, it works with me,
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely have to come down, man. Like,
yeah, definitely. I'm always looking for new places and doing new stuff. So I think next month I'm going the Grand Midwayer. I think that's up by Pittsburgh with Corona Ghost Chasers.
Nice.
RC Paranormal. We're trying to get Madison Seminary together. Once I get that, if you guys want to come up for that, Madison's a cool place. It's a big place. Obviously, I mean, we'll keep in touch and do all that stuff. Cole, you never mentioned your equipment. Like, what do you? Just yourself, your gray hair, dude.
I think, honestly,
I know, right? His hair, it's unbelievable, man.
I think one of my favorite pieces is probably got to be the spirit box that we have, along with the EVPs. That kind of like what you said, that there's a certain feeling and a certain tone that you get when you catch this voice or this sound. You're like, I have no idea what in my right mind that could have been.
Yeah.
And there's been quite a few of them that I've caught just from doing, like, I'm kind of like you in the sense of I like doing the little solo sessions and going off and sitting alone in the spot where everything happens and stuff. I like doing it, and I've caught quite a few things on my EVPs and on the spirit boxes that I just don't know particularly how to explain with what that could have been. And I very much enjoy that aspect of it. We've gotten some new equipment. I'm really curious to see how it interacts and functions with some of the ways that we like to investigate. So I'm really curious. It might change down the line, and you never know. We've caught some stuff on camera that's really piqued my interest as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, all the equipment out there is cool. I mean, there's so much out there now.
And the spirit box he's talking about is the IDC Direct Link spirit box that we got from Austin.
Which one's
so it's
how to best
tell you what, I will go grab it and I'll show it to you.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, so give me a second here and I will go grab that.
So while he's grabbing it and everything, but I mean, it's one of the IDC devices where it uses your energy and stuff to help produce it out and everything, where the spirits can try and latch on. You're the antenna.
Okay.
Justin's tried it. I've tried it. I got some responses, but not a lot. But like when Cole uses it there at the Broadway Funeral Home, he's the antenna and everything. I mean, they really latch onto it and want to communicate with him when we do the states method with it, or even just have the speaker hooked up to it where we can have it blaring out and stuff to hear, for everyone to hear and stuff. When he's holding that device, it's game on for him and them.
I've definitely gotten lucky with it for sure. With a few times with it, we've caught some really good stuff when you kind of line it up and start writing it down on a notepad and stuff. Like, okay, I heard this here, and that here, and these are the questions. It really lines up, gives you some good stuff. And then when we combine it with, say, our estates method from Travis or Justin, somebody else doing it on the other side of the house, it really lines up more.
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
we've had Justin in one room asking questions with Travis, doing an AVP with him, and then I'll be on the other side of the house completely with me and Sean or me and Daniel sitting there with a spirit box, just listening for whatever we hear come through, and we've had some really good results with it. That's really piqued my interest with it, and I think that's why I really like it.
So the direct link.
I haven't seen that before.
So it'll hook up to a regular like speaker. So like we'll use like a regular Bluetooth aux in, and it uses the antenna. It uses you as the antenna.
Okay.
So it uses your energy. And honestly, the first 2 investigations that me and Travis did with this, we didn't get anything. And then Cole takes it and was like, "I'm gonna try it, guys." Started getting crazy responses. That was actually what was crazy is he was getting the same responses that our Estes method response of the SB7 was getting. And it was like, that's odd. Like there's no way possibly in chance. But it's a really good device. Austin Maynard builds these for JW Prather, for IDC, Technomancers, stuff like that. He builds these with them. They also have this built in to a bigger box that has the speaker, and you could also attach a regular antenna on here.
Okay.
You don't have to. So you don't have to, hold it down. You can use it as just a regular spirit box. But we've noticed, mainly with Cole using it, he gets good responses by using. So whatever is there likes using his energy to communicate through these devices. So yeah, it's just called the IDC Direct Link First Contact.
Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot on Facebook lately. People taking their antennas off the SB7s and other spirit boxes. They say it works better. Like I don't use any FM spirit boxes. I can't do it. I try it. If you see my live sometime, I'm like, okay, I'll go to FM because I'm not getting anything in the AM. It lasts like 30 seconds. So I'm like, I can't do this crap. Like,
Yeah.
too much.
I think like the era we're in, being like in Ohio, especially your area, I kind of know where you're at. The FM frequencies that we get is just so polluted and everything.
Yeah.
So because there's sometimes like I can't remember who I learned it from, but I've seen them on Facebook and everything from one of the teams that we follow. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but shout out anyways. But they sit there when they go start their investigation. They do like a 15-minute session meditation. One member goes, puts the headphones on, plugs it into their spirit box, and just sits there and listens and writes down wherever they hear. And the past couple of investigations when we've been going to the bride wells, like, look, while you guys are setting up and everything, getting the cameras ready and stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and pop my headphones on, plug it in, sit here for 15 minutes and just write down what I hear so we can go later on throughout the investigation, see if it kind of matches and everything, kind of see where it possibly can take us and everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's been pretty good on taking us and everything on some of the stuff that I captured on just what they say out of the blue.
Yeah. Nacho from Verona Ghost Chasers, he'll do it the night before at his house. He'll do a 10-15 minute session, write stuff down. I mean, I don't know if he does this. This is why I plan on doing. Write stuff down, fold it, give it to another team member, and don't look at it till after. See if we get stuff. Because everything influences you. That's why that's why you don't do like these more famous places, more places that people allowed to go to. I don't really look into them too much because, I mean, EVPs, you see it on shows. Like, you're like, what do they say? Did they say it? Oh, yeah, it said that. No.
Ghost Adventures and everything when they put the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I do have subtitles on mine, but I do have some good.
I mean, it's helpful and everything. I wish there was a way like you can sit there. I mean, I don't know if there is. There might be, but like when you can sit there and play the EVP a couple of times without the subtitles, and then later half of the video have the subtitles. Because I mean, there's two groups that follow us, and we follow in the back and everything that are strictly deaf and everything, and it's amazing what they can do and everything on doing the investigations. Props to them on doing this field and everything, on using their more of their senses and everything instead of relying on actual audio. Definitely huge shout out for them. But I mean, try and sit there and help it, but some of our recordings that we sit there and post online and everything, it's been shocking because we just use like Facebook auto caption and everything, and what we think we're hearing it say, Facebook's is almost matching it.
That's cool.
And that's been pretty good.
Yeah, usually when I do my little videos, I got a couple of them out there right now on YouTube. They have to be Class A EVPs. Like, if I don't know what it says, I'm not putting it out there. But I've had some good ones where I do play it a couple times. Then I'll do the subtitles after that. But I don't know. They're pretty good. I got a couple more that I got, and I'm just trying to figure out how to put them out there because there's audio only. There's no video to it. So sooner or later.
Okay.
But
You guys heading out?
okay, so we'll do Cole. You're kind of new to this field. Is there a bucket list place that you really want to investigate?
I'd say probably the biggest thing I have, if I could absolutely do it, would be Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Like that's like dream top tier list. I've gone there all the time as a kid. I have massive fascination with aviation and history with that, and I've heard lots of stories about that place. That would be like dream level. I'd love to go do that. Outside that though, I'd say one of the more realistic options would be odd topic one would be Shiloh, the old Civil War battleground Shiloh, where Grant fought his first major battle. That would be kind of one that's on my list down in Tennessee. Outside that, it's kind of like what you said. I like these little local spots that we keep finding and stuff, the little local history. Those would be my biggest ones, like dream wise. I'd love to go do that, but it's the small little local ones that tend to, in my opinion, have a lot more, what's the word to look for here? I guess grasp with kind of reality of a lot more of a neutral standpoint to look for with evidence wise. That's kind of the best way to put it, I guess. So I'm in a lot of agreement with you there.
I mean, that's like the local places. The stories aren't made up yet, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you're getting the stories.
Yeah.
You're not walking in. You're not walking in and say, "Hey, is Sarah here?" I mean, there's a Sarah ghost like in 90% of haunted places.
Yeah.
But all right, Justin, bucket list.
Bucket list. So, one used to always be the Ohio State Reformatory, just because, first off, I just want to go to the place because I was a big Shawshank fan, you know. So, but going there, but honestly, there's a team that we follow that's down in Tombstone, Arizona, and some of the small little
Goose
locations
Flats.
that they
Shout
have,
out.
Goose Flats, man, some of the locations that they share bucket lists is just anywhere in Tombstone, Arizona, dude. Would be so cool to go and
Two favorite movies.
Yeah,
especially like for them and everything, like you want to get like on equipment, just seeing what they do and everything, because they've been finding out a lot of the spirits there and everything, like what Justin just showed with the IDC and stuff. They won't use that to communicate with and everything, so they have to sit there and try and figure out a way to make it more towards their time period, to try and make it more welcoming for them to interact with. And just something like that is just even more amazing.
Well, like we said before, like it's good to have different types of members. And also, as you don't know, I mean, Cole's like a antenna over here that's going to attract people. Then everybody has something different, and you got a woman on your team that might, and it goes with equipment too. You don't know what they want to use. That's why you have all this equipment to see what they're actually, because we have a lot of EMF. We got the EMF trip rope. We got the REM pods. and all that stuff. I mean, my REM pod, you know, people love using them. It barely goes off. Every now and then it'll go off. So, all right. So, Travis, bucket.
So I joined a YouTube live of Skylar B and Christopher Biggs. Love them to death and everything, especially the Skylar and everything. 9-year-old getting into this field, huge accomplishment. But like me and him's on the same level. The Vatican. I
Oh,
just that's really, I mean, a shot in the black hole for a bucket list, but it's definitely way out there. But I mean, just throughout of our known history of just, I mean, the history alone, it doesn't even have to be paranormal. Just what the Vatican has been a part of.
Yeah.
There has to be something there. More realistic. I definitely the Winchester's house. I would love to go there and everything. Just seeing it and everything, and then knowing the history of it itself, and hearing the experience from other teams, and especially not well-known teams and everything, of being able to go there and do it. Winchester's house, and then just like Cole said, really anything that local that we possibly can find, that hopefully just to tell history.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest goal, is just to give history out of locations. I'm a huge history buff, which has the other members of SOPs and stuff. Anything that's dealing with history, and especially history of possible spirits or entities that are at that location, that's our ultimate goal.
I mean, I think you see the more down to earth paranormal groups like you guys, and that's what it comes off of, is history. That's what draws us to these places. Like, I've been to, Ohio Reformatory, great history place. I'm not a fan of investigating there unless I can run it up by myself, which I never have because I can't afford that. But they just jammed too many people in there. Maybe they changed. That was like my third or fourth investigation, but there was it's an open place, but just to walk through those hallways was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Trans Allegheny is another one. They do a great job of spreading people out. I've been down there twice. I want to go back again this year. The history with the Civil War, I mean, everything that Trans Allegheny has to offer, and that place is haunted. I'm not going to lie. That place, there's some freaky stuff in that place. So if you ever get a chance to go Trans Allegheny, go Trans Allegheny.
That's on our list. Next year we're looking at talking like with Scholar B and Christopher Biggs and everything. Waverly Hills Sanatorium there in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's on our list next year, on hopefully to do a collaboration with them two and a couple other teams. Private investigation, that whole area for ourselves. We was going to try for this year, but they're completely sold out on their private tours. Talking with them and everything, they said basically if you want a private tour, you need to sit there and get with them in the first 2 weeks of January. But yep. I mean, that's on our list and everything. We're always down to collab with people, whatever location, especially if it's in our power to do it and everything. Here lately, personal life with myself and Justin and everything. If you follow us on Facebook, kind of put that on a little hold and everything. But we're down to collab and hook up with people to do meet new places.
Yeah, like in one of the locations, Randolph County Asylum, over in Indiana, I'm wanting to say it is. We plan on going there, hopefully sometime this year, because we know a couple of the groups know the owners real well there, and they keep saying, "Oh, come on over." So that's but that's also that's a little hole in the wall place. It's it was an asylum, but it was a hole in the wall, and there's a lot of history that needs to be told, and that's why we've gotten with one of our historic societies here. That's right down the road, They're kind of more focused on the Grant's birthplace, Grant's stuff. We actually have talked with the president, and well, the acting president right now, and we've gotten signed off. Essentially, we're going to be doing a big documentary with them on all of the historic locations that are in our local area. Because listen, there's a lot of history to our small little town of Bethel and Felicity and Georgetown, right? Like small towns, really, really small towns of like what, 2,500 people, but there's so much history. You have a president that was, notorious, that lived there.
I mean, president, he was the greatest Civil War general that ultimately turned the tide of the Civil War, U.S. Grant. I mean, from where all three of us are located and everything, he's about spitting 10 miles from where we live. He's born in Point Pleasant, Ohio. Yeah. Born, then moved to Georgetown, Ohio, and everything was where he raised. They got his boyhood home still preserved. The Grant schoolhouse, the tannery, which is the Historical Society, just got ownership. They got to do a lot of work on it and everything. Hopefully, this documentary kind of turns good and everything, and we can sit there and help them out and everything, kind of get them into where they can start getting public in there and everything. Because I mean, the tannery itself, and Cole knows quite a bit about it. Tannery, it was built by his father, owned by his father, and when it came to the point and everything, it was like, look, Grant, either you're going to like this business and take it over, or you're going to go to West Point. And Grant said, send me to West Point then.
Yeah, and
I mean, if he liked it, I mean, who knows on our timeline now?
Exactly, yeah. But that just goes back to the whole side of we're a paranormal team, but it all results to the history, the telling of a story. I'm pretty sure that probably some of them places that are low haunted, they were built in 1860s and stuff, right? But there's a story there. And even if it's not the paranormal side, there's still a story that should be intriguing and should bring enough interest to people that, our smaller towns are great. It's not always just downtown Cincinnati that's awesome, or downtown Columbus, or, the big cities. You have the Tombstone, Arizona. Here in Ohio, you just have to look in your own backyard, and I think that's, a big important factor of what we want to do as well as a team is get the name of these places as far as we can to say, listen, look in your own backyard. There's greatness there. There's history there. So that's just important to us, I feel, as a whole.
No, you're right. I mean, history's big. I thought Cole looked like he wanted to say something, but he's kind of looking around there.
Just history-wise with Grant and stuff, I was just going to chime in on it, but Travis nailed it on the head. Essentially, he grew up in
still. I mean, you know more than me on that, bud.
Yeah,
I spoke what you kind of told me. I know a little bit about him. Yeah. I mean, just like a little bit more, like getting into it and everything, like his birthplace.
You
digging into it. I didn't know his birthplace home. Justin. But his birthplace home, I didn't know it was moved 3 different times.
Yeah, that was something you taught me too, because I always assumed it was just there in Point Pleasant.
It went from Point Pleasant to Cincinnati for a while, and then after Cincinnati, it went to like Columbus for a while. Yep. And then it took the act of Congress to recognize it as a historical society, a historical landmark and everything. Mm-hmm. They spent money and everything to sit there, and took 6 truckloads to move it back from Columbus back to Point Pleasant where it originally was.
Yeah.
And where it's at now is where it originally was, and still how it was for his birthplace home. It's just the history that's in these small towns and everything. That's what we want to try and get out to people. Yeah, paranormal is added benefit, but I mean, our ultimate goal is just history.
Yeah. So Cole, this one's going to go to you since you're a newer, I guess, paranormal investigator,
okay.
Younger than us.
Yeah.
a big topic right now though is, kids get in the paranormal field. Now there are some schools out there that offer like a paranormal club.
Mhm.
I think it's okay as long as it's done right with the right people. But, I mean, what are your thoughts?
It's something that I actually wasn't aware of until just recently, that was actually a thing. Like I guess I never thought about it. Travis mentioned to me that there was a team. I don't remember if you said that they were local or not in our area or not, but that there's a 9-year-old who's this lead investigator with her dad, and to me it was kind of like Pennsylvania. Okay, so it was kind of a thing that kind of
Scholar
took me
B.
back. Yeah, Skylar B. That's right. It was kind of one of those things that took me aback, where I was like, I never would have envisioned that as something that somebody would do. So like a lot of these places that you go to, the small town ones and stuff, a lot of it's unknown. You don't know what's in there. It could be some sweet grandma and stuff who's just not ready to move on from wherever she's been living at and stuff, right? Or it could be something malevolent and stuff that really just doesn't like anybody, or something as crazy as like a Ouija board demon, right? So it definitely was something that took me aback, that there are these younger generations that are becoming more and more interested in it. I grew up watching it on TV, right? It was something I watched on TV with my family, but I never thought I would go do it. In terms of the kids actually doing it now, it's kind of like a coin flip for me, I guess, 50-50. A lot of it, I think, kind of stems with if that's something that your parents are okay with and you feel comfortable enough doing it and stuff, and you have that interest and that drive, I say go for it all the way. It's like, more power to you. With that though, like, there, as much as there's risk for somebody like you and I, there's risk for kids, and I think that definitely is amplified a little bit with them. So there's a part of me that kind of looks at it with a little bit of concern, but there's a big part of me that also looks at it with a lot of fascination and kind of like hell yeah, go get them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, like,
it's new.
It's new, and I'm like, I've seen some of these groups go out there. A paranormal group will take them, usually during daytime, to a place that's known.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much their parents are with them because they don't know what's going on either, just showing them how to use the equipment. And as long as you're teaching the kids and the parents to respect the spirits, I don't see a big problem with it.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest issue I have is some of these groups, as you said, everything's demonic, everything's, a spirit, so it could go both ways,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's kind of neat that they're getting into it, but I think they got to be careful too. Just like we got to be careful when we go out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So, I mean, guess we lost Travis.
Or Justin.
Justin.
I told you I'm terrible with names here.
But it's all good.
Travis, we kept losing him earlier. So
yeah.
It's been all good since I've been on my hotspot.
Yeah, now you just look like a ghost up there. You're all dark.
Yeah,
I know. The Vermont man and the lighting's crap.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my podcast room. I just want like a comfy recliner to do this stuff now. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. I mean, great group. I mean, you guys have
thank you.
Pretty much a line of what I believe in and what we're trying to get out of the paranormal. I mean, we won't go into the bullying or para-unity that everything's going on now. Everybody knows about it.
Oh yeah.
We caught wind of it pretty early on within our founding.
Yeah, and like Justin mentioned prevalent on one of our posts and everything, but I mean, kind of just scratch the surface. I mean, when me and Justin decided to start this like full steam ahead on creating this group, we thought it was going to be a battle on just trying to sit there and get ourselves known and everything, trying to sit there, try and get out there and everything. But since we started this, we have been met with tremendous amount of support. You are definitely one of them. But I mean, definitely a lot of others and everything on just sitting there, us being honest and everything. Look, this is who we are. This is our ultimate goal. and people's has been supporting it and everything. We truly can't sit there and think our followers, which I mean, I hate to say it, it's not even really followers, our friends.
Yeah.
Enough for it and everything on the support that you guys have been giving us for this.
I mean, there is a huge para unity out there. When I first started this, I really didn't know what I was getting into. You know, I'm not a huge social media fan, even though I do a podcast on Facebook and YouTube and I'm on TikTok. But I mean, and I tell people, like, I don't really care about the followers too much on my Trap Souls is my team. I want the followers so people, you know, I can push this out so people get to know you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I care about. Like me, I'd rather talk to spirits than be around people. I mean, that's just the way I am.
Understandable and everything, because I mean, I'm more an introvert myself and everything until I get to know someone.
But there's so many great people out there in this pair. I mean, everybody I've interviewed so far and started doing this has been fantastic. I mean, like I said, I expect to do like 3 or 4 in August. You know, I have 15 people lined up through September already. And I'm like, wow, okay, so we're doing this now. And it's been great meeting you guys. And this is how you, like you said, collabing with people. I've learned about so many cool places just doing it. And I've been invited to so many cool places. The problem is I work 60 hours a week. Can't get there all the time.
I understand how that is. I mean, me and Cole, we're and Justin, which unfortunately we lost him, but I mean, all 3 of us are firefighters and everything. I mean, our work schedule's hectic. We'll normally we're 24 on, 48 off, or 48 on, 24 off. It just depends.
And you got balance with family life too. I mean, it's
amen to that.
But again, if you guys, you know, plan on doing a funeral home again, hit me up. If I'm free, I'll drive down. I have no issue with that. I'm always up for new places and meet new people.
Same if you do an investigation, it's up to you. I mean, Ohio, we're willing to make the trip. I mean, I know middle of September next month, we're going to meet most of the members of Underground Paranormal Network and stuff near Middle Point, Ohio, and everything for the Middle Point School. So, I mean, if we're up that way, we'll try and work something out.
Yeah, definitely. We'll try to get together. I plan on doing Hannah House here sometime. I forget what group though. I don't know. I get so many people.
It's all good. It kind of all starts blending in together.
I know there's like 4 or 5 groups I'm trying to get investigations together with here, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this. And my wife's like, no, you're not. But no, that's cool. I mean, no, again, I mean, we're, you know, hour 30 minutes into this thing here. I always say I'm going to keep it under an hour. Never happens. But again,
hey, I mean, conversation is always good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys gave a lot of good information. Again, for everybody watching, you know, follow SOPS, you know, Southern Ohio Paranormal Society, great group out there. Check out their lives. I did see a couple of your lives that you guys were talking about where you were affected and stuff. I mean, usually during lives, I don't chime in too much. I just watch. So that's just
all
the way
good.
It's the way I am. Usually I'm at work. They don't watch it, so they're fine with it. So
we appreciate the views.
I mean, yeah, we appreciate no matter what. And I mean, if chiming in or not, supporting us, no matter how you go about and everything, we truly support it, and we try to do our best on giving it back and everything.
You guys do. I mean, you guys are a great group. I'll meet your other members sometime, and we'll get an investigation together. And you guys come across, you know, next few months, you guys get a cool investigation, and you want to talk about it, hit me up, jump on again, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Absolutely.
Man, well, we're going to end this. I don't have a real big ending besides thanks a lot, and see you guys soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too, man.